Hey guys, and welcome back for another episode of the Butterfly Effect podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be covering episode 3 of the Bizarre Yet Bonafide podcast, titled Missing Presumed Dead. I'm Jack, and I'm here as always with Liam.
Happy Wednesday, guys.
So yeah, let's get right into it. So actually, in comparison to other videos, I found this one quite tricky to mine for information. But here are the pointers that we've got. So it mostly covers about these two hikers, one called Anne Radcliffe and the other called Ed Benson. And Grace's theory is that it's Anne's dead body that the teenager found in episode 1, titled The Woman in the Woods. Okay, so the family of the pair say that they're seasoned hikers and that they shouldn't have any trouble in the woods, but clearly Grace thinks that tragedy has befallen at least one of them.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
She then goes into this whole segment about the potential of ghosts and how there might be a vengeful ghost in the woods that has kidnapped Ed and maybe killed Anne and then came back for Anne's body after the teenager had already seen it. So, as a quick side note, I'll go into a little sort of Easter egg thing that I found here. So, Anne Radcliffe is actually the name of an English author that's best known for writing stories based on the supernatural. So, this is perhaps where Supermassive got their inspiration from. So, for those that sort of like that sort of Easter egg, you've got that to chew on. But then another interesting detail they brought up as well is about the potential that the dead body was found by cannibals and that perhaps they took the body away to eat it. I thought it was a bit strange that this was mentioned, considering we just spoke about ghosts. And I wonder if it was a little hint from Supermassive to say that the hillbilly characters in this game could well be cannibals. So yeah, based on all that I've just said, mate, what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, so I guess I recently saw a picture on Supermassive's Insta story about no trespassing signs and how it's dangerous to hike in these parts. So obviously it links to that. And the stuff you mentioned about the hillbillies, yeah, I'm getting strong The Wrong Turn or maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, where clearly they wouldn't be talking about two random hikers for no reason. They obviously have some form of relevance on the story, and it definitely makes you question what the motive of these hillbillies are. We've seen brief snippets of what they do in the trailer. We possibly have Ethan, dragging someone through the woods. Ethan, that's the actor's name. Bobby, that's who I mean. And there's also been clips leaked of Constance laughing at Jacob through a cage, perhaps. So yeah, maybe they're caged, so they're a meal. I always thought until now they were using them to feed them to the wolves, perhaps. Maybe they're like trying to catch them, so they're wolf food. I think the cannibalism thing is probably a little overdone. We've seen it all the time. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Walking Dead do it a lot. So yeah, I think this might be a red herring, mate. I think they're caging people up, catching the hikers, so maybe they can feed them to the wolves to keep them at bay from eating themselves, maybe, or maybe it's just a part of some weird cult. I'm unsure, but yeah, I don't think I'd buy into this cannibalism theory. That's my initial thoughts, mate.
It's interesting because I was thinking along similar lines in the sense that the hikers or the people that the hillbillies capture are there as like a sacrifice to the wolf to prevent the wolf from attacking them. So it's interesting that we both thought that. And another sort of final detail is that Grace reveals her surname in this podcast. Don't know if it's of any significance. Her full name is Grace Corvin. So if any of you fancy doing a bit of Google digging, I've looked myself. I can't really find any significance for that particular surname. The same with Ed Benson as well. It's only Anne Radcliffe where I could find something that was a tangible link to the game in some way. But if you do, let us know in the comments section. We'd be really interested to see what you find.
I'm wondering if Culvin links to the word Corvid, which like can mean crow, because obviously the Supermassive games have got, you know, quite a strong link with the crow, especially with like the Curator, for example, in the Dark Picture anthologies.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it links to death, because that's what you associate crows with, right?
Yeah. No, that's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of that. So yeah, okay, guys. Well, that's it for episode 3 of the Bizarre Yet Bonafide podcast. I've been your host, Jack, here with Liam, and we shall see you in the next video.
All right, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you soon.